Military Broadcast Radio, the station that's giving veterans a voice.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
And do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of any entities they represent.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
MJ is the voice behind the World of Conscious Positive Thinking podcast, where she explores how mindset and energy shape everyday life. Her show opens a gateway to spiritual tools, timeless teachings, and a conscious community.
Are we walking yet? Are we walking into that light yet? Good and happy morning on this beautiful fall equinox. It is September the 22nd, 922. However, it is also episode 57. So many numbers to compare and so much to do today. We are doing meditation today. Why, you say? We're not going to actually do a meditation today, but we're going to talk about it. Good morning, Miss Janet. Oh, I know you're feeling that up in the Adirondacks there, up in New York. Welcome to you. And these are starting to change. It is our transformation centers. What do we do with transformation centers? We have the new moon energy in Virgo, which means that there is always a death to rebirth, a black and white, a water to oil. This is how this energy feels in us. It's finally breaking through. If you have, some people will say, well, you have to fall to your knees and crumble the tower so you can rise like the phoenix. And that's true. Sometimes our life lessons do that to us, which is why we meditate. And when we meditate in a way that we become aware. Mentally, cognitively, we are aware. And we are aware of exactly how that will all play out. Now, you're like, MJ, you can't fetch the future. No, we can't. But in meditation, through our pineal or our crown chakra, and whatever messages that are given to become aware of those messages, then guess what? Then we got all in one bag. Yep, we got the trilogy. What's the trilogy? Father, Son, Holy Ghost. Mother, Father, God. What's the trilogies to you? What's the awareness? There's so many. There are so many things that can become aware. Some people think that in guided meditations, it is another way instead of being hypnotized, where you are guided into breath work and to allow that to take hold in order to heal a lot of what we basically need to hold on to in order for us to go forward, in order for us to open up those adventurous journey doors of our life lessons and we go forward. That's what that means. But today, episode 57, is so funny. It equals a 3. Who would have thought? 3. We just got done talking about things in threes, the trilogies, the triquettas. So today's number is 3. The number 3 represents the law of the triangle and it is considered the most sacred and holy. The angels want you to know that you are highly evolved guides, such as an ascending master or saint, is supporting you and guiding you on your path at this point in time. Get this, guys and girls. Angel power word. Fearlessness. And I said that here on a military broadcast channel. Fearlessness, courage, pride, anger. Remember those 3 things? Warriors, veterans, military, first responders, fearlessness. The number 57 in itself is the divine creator is sending Archangel Michael to your side so that you can summon the extra courage to act fearlessly. Fearlessly. It's time to have bold action and to push yourself outside of your comfort zone and stand for self-love. And I'm going to add man, God, and country. You know, it's funny. I sat yesterday honorably. I'm supposed to have a resting my body, so it was easy because it took my mind off. But I actually turned on the TV to watch all day long. From 11 o'clock in the morning, I literally watched the Charlie Kirk Tribute Memorial in Arizona. If anybody listened to the words spoken, you'll see fearlessness. You'll see comfort zone. You'll see the acts of God. You would see the forgiveness. Father, forgive them, for they don't know what they have done. It was awareness. It was learning. It was a process. It wasn't political. You know, even though a lot of the conservatives were there, it was not political. It was truly a tribute into who he was. He was a conservational faith. So when you go to these things, and like Charlie Kirk says, I may not agree 100% with President Trump, but I believe in God. I believe in that faith of God. And he has often said this sense of spiritualism, where he sits and he meditates. He calls it prayer. Prayer is a form of meditation. Did you know that? Oh, such beauty and the awareness. So this is why today I felt, you know what? I think people really don't understand meditation. I don't think they understand the different forms of meditation. And I don't really think that they use it in the way that they can heal themselves so quickly. Sitting calmly listening to music is a meditative form to heal the body. Sitting calmly and staring at a flame on a candle or a fire is meditation. Remaining quiet with oneself and humming, oming, is meditation. Singing and the acts of verbally mantraing something is a form of meditativeness. Yeah, gotta get my words out. So these are just beautiful, different etiologies that a lot of people don't realize is a form of meditation. The basic definition is that meditation is a practice of training our mind and awareness. At its core, it is about focusing attention in a deliberate way, often on breath work, a mantra, an image, or simply the present moment to quiet the mind, bring greater clarity, calm, and connection. When we can calm our minds and we can remove the junk that keeps popping up, we tap it out. Nope, I am at clarity today. Clarity means more. I want to see. I don't want all these interruptions being popped in. How many people out there where you're just pondering stuff and this is like bang, 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 bang. Everything's going on in the morning and you're like, wait a minute. I want to clear my mind. I don't need all these pingings coming in. So that meditation is really good. It brings you back to order. And that's, I think, is a lot of times what we miss. We miss order. We miss having order. We miss things going smoothly. And I believe my truth, being military, having a scheduled, concise order of a day brings everybody into lawless order. When you don't have order, it separates what you need to be going through and doing on a daily basis. And I had that when I left Miami to retire. My brain just went poof. I wanted to do it, and then all of a sudden my list became in the hundreds of things I needed to do, overwhelming myself, of course. Right? What did I do? I said no to everything on my list. No, that's way too many things. And so for me, that's more like I talked to you about my illusion, which is the grandeurs of all illusions, but they're not really realistic. I had to break it back down. So me meditating in a sense of remaining quiet and just listening to nature underneath my guru tree, I became one with earth. You show me what I need to do today. You tell me what is needed to move forward. And then when I finally had that realization, instead of having spastic thought processes of getting this and then getting called and I forget to finish this and then get to this and then I was all over the place. I mean, think about it. We almost had 2 50-foot semi trucks to bring all of that up here from Miami. Crazy. Crazy. And everyone goes, you need to get rid of shit. And I'm like, but what do I get rid of? Because all of that shit is healing modalities for people. It was all of the holistic stores. So what do I really get rid of? How am I going to get rid of that if I'm building a center to help people heal? It's compiling. And then as you get up here and as I sat in meditation, the awareness came. There's the awareness. There's the awareness. What is it that we no longer need to fulfill our prophecy of going forward, of our life journey? And so by piece, I know I had and you get all these people, oh, you gotta get rid of that. Yeah, I don't know why you brought. And you have all these people nitpicking and niching, right? In your ears, you're like, all right, you just want to wear an earmuffs and go, stop. You do your life. I got my life. I got this, right? Because everybody else's suggestions are great. But when your suggestions are not part of the overall thought process of what's going to happen up here, then some of those, I understand for some, it's useless. So you don't need it. And I understand for others like myself, I'm like, maybe you don't need that 280-pound rock, but I do. That's my grounding rock. That's my green quartz grounding rock. It's of heart. It's of love. It's of kindness. It's of joy. It's of happiness. So that anybody who comes near this building with this gargantuan rock, you're going to feel it. So yeah, that's my stance on why meditation is important, because it brings you back to focus. There's so many different traditions of meditation and different purposes. So we're going to run into these. I think there's like 4 of them. So the first 4, then we're going to take a break. The first one is mindfulness meditation. It emphasizes truly on just the present. You're noticing your thoughts, your emotions, and your sensations without judgment. And then you go to the next one, which is the concentration meditation. This uses a single point of focus, like a candle flame, a prayer, or a repetitive word, such as mantraing, to still the mind centers of everything else. Then you have spiritual meditations, which is used to connect to divine, higher self frequency or universal energy, God source. And then you have movement-based meditation, like yogas, tai chi, walking meditations. When people walk, they hum something to keep the beat, or when they're exercising, it's a form of that meditation as well. And that one combines the awareness of the physical flow. But all of them benefits can include reducing of stress, anxiety, improve your focus, emotional balance, self-awareness, and deep spiritual connection. That's what all of them have in common, which is why now meditation has become part of your primary saying, well, do you do yoga? Do you do mind or Tai Chi? Do you meditate? That's what they're getting at, especially if you come in and you are talking about stress and you're talking about anxieties or PTSD and you're talking about the mental clarity. And so in order to have mental clarity, we got to figure out a way that we remove the garbage talking into us in our head, right? For me, I tune it out. I tap and I breathe. It's my easiest form of meditative release is I relieve all that energy. I just let it go. And I can tap and breathe it. That's because of where I am and all of the things I've done since I've been 28 years old. It's been a very long time, a little over 30 years. I've been clearing and clearing and clearing and clearing. And it has taken me this long to get into the statue of where I am today. But I did not do that without meditation. I did not do that without guided meditation. I did not do that. So sometimes guided meditations are like receiving akashics, right? Because the meditator is taking you in. One of the best meditative voices I have, and I know I always mention her, but it is Miss Kim. She puts you in a guided meditation. You can ask any of the students. They're like, I just can't do it without the guided meditation. There's something connecting with that overall awareness of our higher self thought processes and that vibration that help us surrender. What is it? I don't know. I wish I knew. Maybe that's like the black void that your physicists are trying to figure out, that big black denominated hole. I don't know. But so they are what we are going to be discussing, and I'm going to lay all of them out one by one. But we first have to go to a break here. And this morning, we're going to play a couple of commercials that the first one, I want to just explain what the commercials are. So this first one that we're going to do is Fairway Travel. Fairway Travel is having a beautiful military broadcast radio, and it's actually for any veteran or military. They're doing it, I believe it's November the 8th is the date that they're doing it. But if you contact Fairway Travels, just jot their number down. It is our beautiful Red, our DJ Red, Freedom Struggle. What's that, Joel? What is that one? Do you remember?
Freedom to Struggle.
Freedom to Struggle. So he is the DJ, but he also owns Fairway Travels, and he is putting up this beautiful Virgin Cruise, I believe is what you guys are going on here in November. And anybody
Carnival Cruise.
Is it Carnival? Okay.
Carnival.
So I'm autoimmune. I don't really go on these things because it really hurts me. And I'm very sorry I can't go, but you can better believe I'll be watching NBR during that time. And then the next one is our Wreaths Across America promo. So when you buy a wreath to put on one of the graves in Arlington Cemetery, they donate $5 back here to mbradio.us and our program that we have put up. So that's the next commercial. And then the last commercial is DJ Clado that I have in my library, and he is our DJ for music. And so we'll get you over to him. So it's not really going to be a song. It's going to be an awareness of these things that MB Radio are doing currently. But you are listening to MJ with the World of Conscious Positive Thinking right here on this beautiful station where veterans always get a voice. mbradio.us. Be right back.
It's time for a vacation, and Fairway Travels is here to share great specials for you to choose from. Discover the charm and features of one of Sandal's 16 all-inclusive, luxury-included, adults-only resorts, or a family-friendly beaches destination in the Caribbean. Or how about a couples resort in Jamaica? If cruising's your preference, get thunderstroke aboard Carnival Cruise Lines or set sail on an award-winning Royal Caribbean ship. Join Virgin Voyages now for a wonderful adults-only sailing. It doesn't matter if you choose to travel by plane, train, automobile, cruise ship, or rowboat, we can help you reach your dream destination. Contact Fairway Travels today at 228-365-1012. That's 228-365-1012. Or email bookitnow247@gmail.com. Fairway Travels, where your journeys keep satisfying.
The station where our veterans' voices are heard. MBR Talk.
Hey, thanks for supporting our channel by watching and listening.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
Okay, we're going to go. I want to play Reese so I don't forget this one. We're going to play Reese next. We're going to play all three of these that are inside of our MBR studio. 1 second, folks.
At Military Broadcast Radio, the goal is to offer a platform for mental health advocacy while connecting the military community through various media platforms. Founded by U.S. Army veteran Joel Hunt, MBR gives a voice to veterans, first responders, and their families through streaming radio, podcasts, video, and outreach events. With its leadership run completely by veterans and hosts of the diverse programming from all branches of service, MBR was created as a response to the silent battles veterans face after service. Military Broadcast Radio is also a Wreaths Across America partner, hosting a $5 backed sponsorship group page. For every veteran's wreath sponsored through the Military Broadcast Radio page, MBR receives $5 back to help support their platforms and outreach. Veteran and first responder stories need to be told and shared. And with your support, MBR can continue to bring together veteran nonprofits, mental health organizations, and government agencies to bridge the gap between veterans and vital resources. To find out more and donate, visit wreathsacrossamerica.org/MBR.
And DJ Clado is our next one. One more.
Tune in to Clado's Cacophony of Sound every Saturday night from 9 p.m. to 12 a.m. Eastern on Military Broadcast Radio at mbradio.us or on Twitch at DJ_Clado. MBR, giving veterans a voice.
There we go. They are all of our members here at MBR who has put out little inserts for us so that we can become what? Oh, aware. Yes, aware. That is the word of the day, being aware. When we start becoming aware, so much comes into fruition for us for clarity. So just remind yourself. So let's start with mindful meditation. Mindful meditation is a form of meditation that focuses on being fully present in the moment, not thinking of yesterday or 10 years ago or something, not thinking of what you got to do in upcoming future. We are now in the moment, this moment, deserving your thoughts, your feelings, your body sensations, their surroundings with openings without judgment. Without judgment. I'm going to post that. I'm going to hashtag it without judgment. Got it? What does that mean? That means you're not going to sit there and going, oh, I don't know what they're doing. God, don't they look crazy? What the hell does that mean? What the shit did they just do that for? That's not your business. You're not in the energy. This is why social media penetrates so badly, because you're minding other people's business and then we gossip about other people's business. This is why I don't really watch a lot of social media or TV interaction, because I can't do that. And I just spelled without judgment wrong. Here we go. WITHWOUD, without judgment. Okay. I want that hashtagged because there's a lot of judgment going on in this world. And I think sometimes our minds get overloaded. It's none of your business. You're not part of that energy. And if you are part of the energy, then you need to talk about it to a wall, not talk about it to millions of people on social media and then want to argue about your case. It doesn't work. Whether it's politics, religion, sex, I don't care what it is. I mean, they're the three evils that you're not supposed to talk about, but those particularly can get you into a very decisive conversation. So what do? We use our mindfulness meditation. We are in the moment right now. What is the best for me? This is when I use mindful meditation. When I hear something I don't like, I close my eyes. You'll see me close my eyes sometimes. You'll see me cover my eyes. It's mindful meditation. It is remaining calm in the chaos. And instead of trying to block my thoughts or control my mind. Mindfulness teaches you that you can notice what's on the arise, but you can let it be and gently return your attention back into the present moment of the now for you. That's mindfulness meditation. Of being aware of what the chaos is, but removing that attention. You don't need it. If that type of energy causes you to have stress and anxiety, then that's a feeling inside we're going to try to heal. Mindful meditation takes you and says, you're not part of that. Don't be a part of that. Because when you start to be part of that, you start to claim that energy of that particular event. The key elements to mindful meditation is awareness. Look at that word again, awareness. Paying attention to what's happening right now around you. Non-judgmental, without judgment. I wrote it. I spelled it wrong again, whatever. It is observing without labeling experiences as good or bad. Stop labeling people. Stop trying to be their teacher, their parent, no. Suggestions? Okay, I'll take suggestions. Or if you have a sincere issue with the energy, or sincere saying, why do we feel this way? Why do we think this way? This is mindful practicing. It is a question. It is not a forceful disruption. There's a good word. There's not a forceful disruption of your thought processes, because with your thought processes, it doesn't work. It's not your event. Does that make sense? So when you're in your mindfulness and you're watching, and your ego and your judgment want to go, oh, they should crucify him, they should put him in and everybody wants to, and you're, did you ever go, oh my God, you're exhausted, and you need to walk away from that. I'm not saying permanently. I'm not saying make a big spiel about it, or make a statement about it. With love, everything is possible and plausible with love. And you need to go back into that heart center. So my mindfulness and my meditation is putting me here and going back into love, back into whole, back into peace, back into alignment, back into balance. And when I can feel me pushing away that energy just goes right around me, and I don't feel like the rest of the people feel. Because I'm aware with no judgment. Non-judgment is observing without labeling these experiences as good or bad. That's mindful non-judgment meditation, right? I'm mindful. Why? Because if I want to judge it, and I'm not God or Archangel Gabriel, why would I judge something that somebody else did? I find the opposite. I get myself in trouble. I feel that Mr. Robinson really lost his way. I know there's a lot of people who are near me who are telling me that I'm crazy, but I'm not. We make mistakes because we get conditioned by man. Beautiful man, conditioned patterning. Our perennial views, our cognitive views are being patterned by what people say in conditioned form, right? Again, if you hear something like a broken record subliminally all the time, I talk about the movie theaters in the 70s. Subliminally, they would flash a popcorn or flash a hot dog or flash Coca-Cola. They're not allowed to do it anymore. Subliminal processing of man. And all of a sudden, in the middle of the movie, at the apex, you're like, I got to get a hot dog. I just got to go to hot dog. I don't really care about this movie. Putting more money back in, right? And so this is man. This is man on a balance, continuously telling us this is what we need to do. Now, if we, on the acceptance, it's allowing our thoughts and our feelings to go naturally. If our feeling is of hurt, sorrow, depression, all the grievances, right, of those emotions, we have to heal those. Why does that situation, that energy that has nothing to do with me on the other side of the world, and I'm sitting here with us. I'm sitting here holding my heart. I'm sitting here with tears. I'm sitting here. I don't even know the people. Okay, so that's a seed inside of us. Then there's your mindful meditation. Find that seed, go into it. Go into that seed, accept that energy that once was, but we're in the moment, we're in the current. It is not happening right now. Father, forgive me, I've lost my way. Father, forgive those who have lost their way. That's it. Mean it. Intention is everything to us. Mean it. And then you have breath as an anchor. Breathing. We'll go back to the episode about breathing. Using our breath work to return your focus whenever the mind wanders. No, I'm tap and breathe. I'm not over there. I want to be back here. Train that ego to stay away from the man-conditioned patterns. Be back to center. Here's a quick example, if you want to jot it down, of mindful meditation. First, sit comfortably with your eyes closed or softly open. Doesn't really matter. Some people who are visually distracted, they tend to lower their eyelids to a point where they're just looking down. So take a few deep breaths, and then we're going to settle into a natural rhythm. So I usually say 5. I don't say 3. I always say 5. Take 5 big deep breaths, fill up that body, and then blow it all out. Notice sensations in your body, the air moving in and out, and the sounds around you. Start being aware of those. When your mind drifts, and it will, gently bring your attention back into your breath work or tap. And it will until we practice. It's a practice, right? So over time, the practice can help reduce these stress or these increases of focus. When something is making you paramount and you want to type something nasty, just step back from the keyboards there, people. Take a big old deep breath and quickly turn the page to something else. Keep breathing and just keep moving. If you go back to there, it's a seed. Why are you that angry? How come you didn't diffuse that seed? How come you didn't smash that seed? What is going on inside of us that we have to come back to this? It'll happen. It'll happen. Okay. So that is now the mindfulness meditation. That's how that one works. So now I'm going to take another break, and we are going to go play this next beautiful little ditty by Die Tired. It's called Why Won't You Wake Up? So fitting for our energies, right? So Why Won't You Wake Up by Die Tired. That is our song we're going to play next. You're listening to mbradio.us, where veterans always have a voice. Be right back.
Take a moment, take your time, let it set right. Let it drive right down in your conscious tide. Lean into better times. 'Cause in a minute, in a moment, you'll notice a shining light, one that draws you in from deep inside. Reach out and connect tonight. What colors do you see?
The station where our veterans' voices are heard. MBR Talk.
Hey, thanks for supporting our channel by watching and listening.
Find us on the web at mbradio.net.
Okay. Caught me with my ice in my mouth. Okay. So that was our beautiful Die Tired. He is one of our favorites here at MBR. He gives us all our music to try to connect with veterans to try to help them. There are some, I know people are asking me about some of the songs. We can't play them because they didn't give us a contract to play them on our system, and we're a 501c3, so we look for veterans to help them aspire into what they're looking for, not so much having to pay out. Got it? Okay. So let's move on. So we just did mindfulness meditation. The second one we are going to go to now is called concentration meditation. It's a little bit different. This one is a style meditation where you're going to train your actual mind to focus on one single object of attention. Fire, maybe? A heart, a rose, something, water. Focus on a stream as it goes. You are just going, do you ever see those people who are in those trances and you're talking to them and they're paralyzed because they are so tranced on whatever that caught their eye, and they're like, I can hear you, I just can't say, or I can't even move. And it's just that trance, that deep looking into something, and people get caught in. They call it daydreaming, maybe, or they call it wandering minds. No. When you steadfast concentration on a meditation of an object of attention, then that goal is a very quiet distraction by repetitively bringing your awareness back to that focus point. Okay, that's deep, because that one, people could talk to you all damn day long, and I'm sure some of you are like, oh my gosh, I didn't know that had a name. Yes. So your body comes into this concentrational meditation, and maybe you're on overload and you needed that moment, and you in the physical didn't know how to do that. I mean, it was almost like, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know how to do a concentration meditation. And then all of a sudden your brain goes to overload, and I think it's like, okay, freestyle. And so now we're frozen in that one going, okay. So if you purposely do it, then we have concentration meditation. So we're purposely trying to get in that same exact point of view that we had. So instead of observing something that's arising like mindful meditation, concentration meditation narrows the attention to a chosen target. Okay. I tell people, try not to stare at something very bright, because you don't know how long you're going to be in the concentration meditation. So that could affect your retinas. Try something subtle. If it's light, like a salt lamp or a fire, don't try to stare at the bright light in this, in your room. If it's on, ultra lighting, or, something that's going to hurt your retinas after a while, that's never going to be a good thing. So common focus points include breath, watching each inhalation and exhalation closely, monitoring that breath work coming through, visually seeing how it fills the lungs, how it's filling up the body. And when you're exhaling what no longer serves a purpose within the body through our breath. A mantra or a word, silently repeating to another for awareness. So you can do this new moon energy mantras. One would be Ganesha. So it's Gam Ganapataya Namaha. Gam, you'll hear people mantra it, right? Or maybe it's Durga. Dam Durgaya Namaha. Or it could be a prayer in Christianity. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Or the Our Father. It is a prayer, a mantra. It's a repeating to anchor in that awareness, whichever that may be, and whichever religion that may be. Buddhism, they just close those lips on the Om. It'll be that vibration. right? That focus point. You can look at a Buddha and get into the spirit of that. However, your denomination, your religion, your spirituality takes you for that mantra or the wording. Use a visual a visual object. Use a visual object like a candle. I have a meditation moon candle. So if I sit into yoga pose, it stands pretty tall on this candelabra with this big old moon, and I can put a tapered candle in it, and I watch that candle as a mantra, or I watch that candle as I sit in my silence of my meditation of oming. So that's another visual aspect. A mandala, see? The color, these beautiful coloring books that Cassie Hunt is doing, those coloring books, that is a meditation in itself. Coloring, finding that mandala. So if you colored one of her beautiful pieces, then you use that like a visual. That could be a form of a mandala. Most mandalas are talking about they have a center and they kind of go out. You can look up, there's so many different mandalas. They have crescent mandalas, the German, the barn quilts. That's a type of mandala as well. Or a sacred image, a cross, right? Or a Buddha statue, or a Wan Yin statue, or a pagoda. There's so many different beautiful images that you can look at and to get lost within. Now the sound is very important. Sound is probably one of the most best healing mechanisms because of the frequencies. I talk about frequencies a lot because as an energist, the frequencies for me are what heal most of the people who have trauma, or most of the people who have health issues within the body. Frequencies blast, it reconnects our DNA and synchronizes that movement within music of the frequencies within our body. So sounding such as chanting, Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha, Om Gam Ganakatape Namaha. So we chant, that's a chant, right? Or we can say, Alleluia, 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 right? However that chant rings within you. You can use bells. You can play chimes. You can have calming music like deuter or solfeggio. You can even do binary pulsating. However it is to heal the body. If you don't understand what any of those means, then I implore you to check out the fields of music healing and different. There's beta forms, there's alpha forms, there's time forms. There's so many different types of musical enhancement that will help the mind waves and the body waves stay paralyzed, stay balanced, and stay aligned. Look at those. I'm just throwing words. We don't even care about words anymore. We want to stay balanced. We want to stay aligned. And that way, now being within that consciousness. And now here we go. We are doing a concentration meditation. Concentration meditation leads to an awareness of consciousness. Okay. So whatever you are meditating to find out, understand the consciousness could have aspects in order to heal the hurdle you're trying to get over. Just be aware. So if you want to write, this is how this one works. So you would sit down comfortably and choose your point of focus. Whichever of those, the mandalas, the statues, whatever, which one that you choose. Keep your attention on it. Be like a horse. You put those blinders. Don't look at anything else around you. I always try to either stay out in the forest or in a room that has no clutter, right? I know it's funny if anybody's been to my house because I like Cracker Barrel style walls. So look at the door, especially if you're in my house. You're going to look at the door and just go outside. But keep your attention on it. When your mind wanders, just gently bring it back to focus. Always bring it back to focus, right? And you're like, MJ, I'm ADHD or I'm attention deficit and I'm like, okay, if that's the case, then use your hands, right? People who have, if you move your hands, right, just like this, people who have ADD or ADHD or have some type of attention disorder, take your hands, wrap them, hold them a little tight, and move them. Just keep it going. Just move it like this. I promise you. Nope, it's not clinical. It's metaphysical, right? Keep it in, close those eyes, get back to focus, then open them to that one single point, right? And at this point, sometimes alleviating the hands, okay, we're back to calm. The energy dispersed, and that's what it's about. You're dispersing this energy, right? You're dispersing the energies that's calming. Your palms of your hands are your soul finders. They're the energy finders. So calm it, right? And then put your horse blinders on. Focus there. Over time, that mind becomes steadier. It becomes more absorbed, leading to deep calm and clarity. So when people tell me they can't, I tell them they can. Can't does not exist. You can. You just don't have the tricks of the trade, right? Get that going. Okay. The other way that if you say we can't remain calm, I implore you to go find a golden healer's quartz stone that has high red in it. The higher the red in the stone is, the better it's going to help you. That red is iron. Put it in the palm of your hand. Put your other hand on it. Hold it. I tell people hold it, but you can't see me. But hold it. Hold it down here, right? Right around your heart. Better yet, if you're a woman, I love this. Take that stone where it's all red. Put it underneath your left boob by your heart and put your bra on it, and then it stays there. For men, it's a little bit different. You got to find a way to, I don't know, maybe you want a bralette for a man. I don't know, but you want something to trap that in there and keep it close to your heart as well as you can. If you can't, then you put it in the palms of your hands and you hold, because the palms of your hands are your absorption areas, just like the bottoms of your feet. And that is, what's the word? We use it in foot detox. It's hyperosmosis going through the energies. Okay. So now the benefits of concentration meditation: strengthening mental clarity and focus and willpower. This is the one that if you can remain and keep those blinders, this is the one in a practice that we do. Don't try to do a half hour, especially if you've never done these before. This is a way you have to go into this energy. Find the energy so that when you're going into the energies, you understand how you can heal these different calming, restlessness, and mental chatters, right? This is what this one's about. This one's really difficult to try because you have to stay focused. You have to remove the clutter. And again, simple little techniques, either by stone or waving, conforming, these, just get them out. Just get them out, right? Okay. Nope. And now go back to your hands. Your hands have nothing. Go back into the head. Okay. Breathe, 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 breathe. Preparing the mind for deeper meditation and spiritual insight. It's imperative with concentration meditation to get there. You really, really need to have no other forethoughts and no other chatter from around. That one's a little bit hard. Do 2 minutes first, then do 5 minutes, then do 8, then do 10. Work your way up. That is goal setting. That is not my illusion goal setting. This is goal setting that is achievable to gain at a boy or at a girl confidence within self-love, self-esteem, self-confidence. We got this, right? When you set the smaller goals, those smaller goals will always be a victory win to allow us to keep moving forward. Allow us with that happiness to say, done it, been there, got it. Oh, whatever it is that you want to reign within that sequence. So that's how that's done. So in many traditions like yoga, Buddhism, and Hindu practices use concentration meditation as a foundation of their tradition denomination because it focuses the mind, is easier to guide into a deeper awareness, into spirit, into divine energy, into God energy. I'm going to say that again. When you're using the concentration meditation as a foundation as the practices of some of these other religions or denominations, because the focused mind is easier to guide into a deeper awareness of consciousness to God. This is this one. But this one, you have to have the heart of God. I'm going to tell you that. This one's a little challenging. And this one is because your mind wants to wander. Your mind wants your egos, your foundations, your fundamentals of man's conditions. This one's a little bit difficult because there is man who says, well, when you are at your max of relaxing the mind, fruitions come. That's true. But how do you relax the mind? I can tell you that if I put 100 people up, probably 60% of those can't relax their mind. They can't. They sit there and they'll say, I can't do this. I can't relax my mind. I can't. It's not allowing me to keep going forward. It's just everything keeps coming in. If I sit quiet, well, if you sit quiet and everything keeps coming in, this could be a mental capacity issue, a mental ability issue. Use your hands, right? Use them. Use steadfast stoning to keep you grounded, to keep those thought processes away. There's a lot of different things. I just don't want to hear anybody say, I can't. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. You're just not trained to do it. And we can help with that. So that being said, now we're going to go to another commercial because that was the second. And that one there, as you know, was called what was it out there? Concentration meditation. Okay. All right, so we're going to move on. And then next one we're going to do, it's a rebirth, because normally when we meditate, we want to advance into something. We want to keep moving forward. We want to focus within our past. So for this one, I love this guy, this guy's meditation music. And he purposely did this. He's a veteran himself, and he plays the piano. He plays so many different things. Rob Fess. And this one's called Rebirth. So for the people who are with PTSD issues or can't let something go, and you are military bound with the same mind conditioning powers, please listen to him. This is how he healed himself, and maybe music can handle and heal you as well. So we're going to go to break. We're here on mbradio.us. My name is MJ with the World of Conscious Positive Thinking, and we're going to go to break with Rob Fess, Rebirth. See you in a bit. All right. That was Rob Fess. That his music is very therapeutic, like I said. And you can go to Rob Fest's page on Spotify, on YouTube, on Facebook. He has the music there. So if that music helps in concentration mode, then I suggest that you try it. It might work for your mindfulness as well. So both of those, mindfulness and concentration, sometimes in concentration, music could be distracting as well, especially if there's words in it. So pay caution to that. So now we're going to dive down to the next one. So the next one's kind of going to overlap, but it's a little different. So this one is called spiritual meditation. And you're going to go, wait a minute. It is a practice of only connecting with the greater than yourself, whether you call it God, source, divine, spirit, universe, higher self, energy, however, divine energy, whatever colloquialism or nomenclature that you want to use in your denomination, this one is for you. Connecting to only the big man upstairs. You're only connecting to that energy. And that is spiritual meditation. They're unlike mindfulness or concentration meditations, which primarily train the mind, where spiritual meditation is often rooted in devotion, faith, prayer, and inner surrendering. So the difference is, if you're not a very religious person or a very spiritual person, then doing something like spiritual meditation, calling in God himself or the energy of divine energy itself, the creator, then this one would not be for you. Then you would go back to use the other two, the connecting, right. Sorry. Had a brain fart. So you would rather do the concentration and mindfulness of meditation, which primarily is you training the mind. Spiritual is not training our mind. We just let go, let God, let love, right? You ever hear of that? So it is, if you love something, you set it free. If it comes back to you, it's yours. That's love. That is divine love. That is graciousness. There is nothing besides your faith mind power center that has to generally be open. If you have an open faith center of your mind power centers, this particular one is a big calling. If we can tap into this when we need it most, the awareness of everything around us, including the energy that we are in, just becomes a huge awakening and an awareness. So it's really core. It combines stillness, awareness, intention to open the heart. We have this one is all about opening within the heart, because that is where the Shivi Shakti energy hits. If you're into the Hatha, it is where the soul lies in the Akashics. It is where the preamble of God himself and religional practices sit. It's our heart. Our heart holds that. Our soul is close to our heart. Without our heart, our souls can't be. It invites us with a sense of oneness. It invites us with a sense of guidance and inner peace. So this one is a practice to remain in a higher vibrational frequency. I'm going to say that again. This particular meditation practice allows us to remain in a higher vibration, closer to the energies that allow us to just stay within love, stay within balance, stay within no judgment. This is this one. This one, because we are giving everything away to Father, Mother, God, right? You'll see people, Buddhist monks, Catholic monks, nuns, right? These are these forms that they practice religiously, daily, multiple times in a day. It makes them quiet. It remains within stillness. It remains within the awareness of that beautiful energy that is gifted to us by Father, Mother, God, right? It is solely that inner peace. I know a lot of people who do spiritual meditations and don't want to come out, right? I know there's traditionals, like they'll do ayahuasca ceremonies to stay within spirit. There's people who want to stay in those because they are so comfortable being in that higher conscious awareness of 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 our God, right? Or our spiritual energy, or whatever you might want to call it. But that you come out, some people get so with grace and humility and humbled, they'll come out with tears because there's no other emotion besides those love emotions, and those beautiful diamonds that come out of our eyes can be humbling. They don't have to be a disaster or a sadness. They can be a pure humbling. You are at the epitome of a vibration that nothing besides those diamonds come. I've been there. And you're like, I don't know why I'm crying, because it's an emotional let go. It is like there's nothing wrong. It is just of thankfulness, of oneness. It is of thankfulness of divine energy. It is the epitome of saying, I am here. Thank you, God. I am right here with you. So the stillness, the awareness, the intentions for oneness, guidance, and inner peace, spiritual meditations, they will get you there. There's no mantras needed. There's no nothing. You just remain one within that energy. When you put your sigils, when you move your butt, and you can get your sigils to where you could be in a yoga seat, or you're sitting on the ground and you're grounding into Gaia or Jerusa, Mother Earth, and you're amplifying that up into the spiritual heavens. The core aspects alone of spiritual meditation, it's the intent. Everything is about intent and intention. Approaching the practice as communion with divine or higher consciousness. You're bringing them in to have a conversation with the highest vibration that's plausible for your journey, whatever that may be. Then you have your sacred focus. What are we focusing on? Are we using prayer? Are we using scripture? Are we using mantra? Are we using visuals like light divine presence? Are we using chromotherapies? Are we entering that sacred state of higher frequency vibration in order for us to feel that connection, to feel that divine energy? Some people say, oh, I get the willies, or I get the chills. And there's a lot of people, when you know you are in that direct energy that is forcing you to do something, and you say something that is so connected to that journey of Father, Mother, God, our Lord, our Savior, our belief system of creation, you get chills. That they are so close to you. They are near you. Hug them. Hug yourself with it. When I get the willies, I'm like, oh, I'm thankful. I'm thanking you. I thank you for the affirmation. I'm thanking you for the confidence and the validation that you just gave me. Thank you for that. So sometimes when you are leading into spiritual meditations, the willies will come and they will be honoring you. So you honor them back. And I hug myself because they're all over me. So I hug myself and I say, thank you. Thank you for coming. Thank you for supporting. Thank you for being here. Thank you for allowing me, with love in my heart, to show the forever existence of you and the awareness of what I need to bring my body back to core. So spiritual meditation is a beautiful way to let go, let God, let love. I love using this one because we must surrender, letting go of the control and just allowing the wisdom or our love to flow through. And that's what we need. We need this. We do need this. We need to get into that realm of just letting go of the control. We don't need to control anybody else. We just need to control ourselves. And sometimes when we control ourselves, we are putting so many boundaries and blocks around us. Sometimes just let go. You have to just let go. And when that happens, the journey is yours. It's connecting in a way where things might become a little bit easier for you. It's a journey where it's opened up and you're like, oh my gosh, It was just like connecting and connecting and connecting. And then I just got here. I don't even know how I got here. And then you're like, blessed be, right? Blessed be. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for allowing. Always be grateful. Always be thankful. Grateful and thankfulness into divine salvation, into divine love of self, and to a higher conscious awareness. Thank you. Thank you for allowing me that intuitiveness for the intent and that I'm looking for. Thank you for allowing this time and this moment, right? That's our surrendering, letting go. And then it's our heart-centered awareness. So remember I told you the spiritual meditation is all within our heart chakra. And you always see me holding my heart, because my heart, I protect. I protect my heart because I know how much I've healed my heart. And I love my heart, my soul so much because divine had made me aware of what I needed. And so I'm thankful. And me holding my heart is love. Love for me, love for mankind, love for all. So remember that when you hold on to your heart, right? You're breathing in, you're holding on, you're saying thank you. And this is a spiritual meditation. Now, when you practice it, again, always with meditation, find a quiet, sacred space. Find a space where you're not going to have interruptions of the TV, the ding-dings of the computers, the phones. Find yourself. Just give yourself that moment. It's not going to hurt anybody. You're not 5 minutes, 10-minute meditations are not going to kill everybody, because even in a strict workforce, every 2 hours, you're allowed 15 minutes. And then every 4 hours, it is a meal break. And then you go back to 2 hours for a 15-minute break. So you have these breaks in a day that you can take. They're mandated by law in a workforce. So I don't want to hear anybody say, oh, I can't do it. Yes, you can. You walk out, go to your car, do your meditation, and go back in. You are finding an excuse of why you can't meditate. There's deeper issues. I'm just saying. Are you scared? Do you have fear of what they might become aware of? Do you have other problems going on, anxiety, that there's so much going on that you know you can't clear your mind? What is happening when you say, I can't meditate? You can. I refuse to use the word can't. When you say can't, saying I am giving it the best that I've got. I'm not sure why the rest of my body is not giving. So then we dig in. You find a counselor, you find a healer, you find somebody who can help you dig in, even if it is a mindful meditation. They're very quick, right? I always say, always find the source of awareness. And when we find that source of awareness, we're better set. Finding a quiet place is just that person. Find it. Always know, if I'm at work, this is my quiet space. If I'm at home, this is my quiet space. If I'm out somewhere, this will be my quiet space. And then we sit comfortably. Breathing. Here we go again. Breathing deeply, centering on yourself. Center. I always say center right in my heart. I'm putting it in my heart space because my heart has those 12 petals around its chakra, and I need them to expand out. Especially in spiritual practice, you want it in your heart. Breathe as much as you can into your heart chakra so it expands and it wraps everybody within love, including yourself. Then you're going to set your intention. Why are we here? What are we asking for? What are we manifesting? What are we bringing to fruition? What is it that we are asking, Father, Mother, God? What is it asking of the highest of that divine energy? What are we? Such as, are we seeking peace? Are we seeking love, guidance, deeper, deeper, deeper connections into being in a godly way? Okay. This is not used to find awareness for business. It's not used. This is a spiritual, mindful connecting, raising the vibration of our soul, raising the vibration of our inner consciousness, right? Bringing the unhealed shadow side or the unconscious to positive consciousness. This is what this is used, how I intend my practice. So, people, I always tell people, when you wake up, you're almost right out of REM. If you have any type of, what do they call those? Not nightmares. Sometimes they're nightmares, but sometimes you drift off in REM and you have these dreamscapes. And right before you wake up, it is the hardest part of your REM. So when you wake up, I have a journal by my bed. If anything comes in, I tried as much detail as possible. What the colors they're wearing, was it raining? Was it cloudy? Was it bright lights? Was it outside? Was it inside? Where were you? Did you recognize the place? These details help create what your higher conscious God energy is trying to get through to you. Sometimes you're like, it didn't make any sense, but it does, because metaphorically, there's always correlations to it. This is the best practice. When that happens, when you come out of REM and you jot it all down, that's the perfect time to do a spiritual meditation. I don't even care if you're on the toilet. That's the time to do it, because they just gave you something in a higher consciousness that you can't decipher, or you're questioning, why are you showing me this? This is that perfect opportunity for you to get into a spiritual meditation practice. Right there it is. So if you're a dreamer, spiritual meditation is your friend, because it's a deeper, enriching awareness into the attentions of seeking whatever that knowledge, that peace, that guidance, or that deeper connection. It's right there at your fingertips. Every morning you open up your eyes, it's immediately there. If you don't have a dream, go straight into that spiritual meditation for the day. A higher concentration of awareness of your day today. Woo! I'm getting the chilly willies now, because they're like, yes, girl, you tell them. So I'm getting the willies from that. And then we focus on prayer. You can use the mantra or simple resting in silence. For spiritual meditations, I like to put 1111 frequencies on. And I love, other than that, dead silence. I will close my eyes anywhere and I will sit. Sometimes I'll even go outside and put my sigils into the ground, into forcing that, because what's above is below and what is below is above. So that energy that we're sourcing has to ascend. But if I just open up my eyes in the morning, you better believe I'm going right into a spiritual meditation, because I was just there. But now I'm going to be conscious awareness, not an unconscious and REM awareness. Does that make sense? Good. Okay. Stay open. Allow all of our insights, allow our feelings, allow our sense of loving in the present to arise in the moment. Always in the moment. Every time somebody, like, I love planners. I do love planners. The problem with planners is free will of others. The problem with planners is free will of others. One more time. The problem with planners is free will of others. I could have the best intentions set. I just did. I bought tickets in March. In March, I drove down to this, the bandstands to get my tickets for Jeff Dunham. He was last night. And I bought tickets for Styx because it's the big fair, and my family's a big fair goers. Did I know in March that I was going to have kidney issues? No. How could have I? Right? Did I know at the time that I was going to have other things and other happenings going on? Yes, but no. I didn't think that nothing would interfere with this. So what happens? I didn't get to go to my concert, though I planned it. I didn't get to go. And if I didn't get to go, do I feel bad? No. Why? Because my intent was to go. But as I face the free will of other things coming in, right? Now I'm like, for the highest good of myself, this is not a good idea. And for myself, I am going to relinquish. And it brought joy to my heart, because the two people who went are very much a part of my heart with love. And to see their smiles when they took pictures to send me, it made me feel good. And I'm like, thank you. Humbly and gracious, thank you. So did I mind not going? No, because I watched Jeff Dunham on TV quite a bit, or whatever, the little appy thing. He's funny to me. And so I got to see him anyway. I got to see him live because he did a little live thing. So I was a part of it, just in my own being, my own center, to be a part of what it was that I wanted. But God knows best, right? So if I loved myself, and I love God for allowing me to surrender that. That's all part of mindful practice of spiritual meditation. I could have been very angry because my body failed me again. No, my body failed me because of man, not because of me, because of man. So how can I be angry? I can't be angry. I just move with the movement of the energy of the flow. Spiritual meditation, this is my favorite, to connect with Father, Mother, God, to connect with the highest power that I can possibly connect with for the journey that only I could endure. Somebody else that's not your journey. So stay open, allow the insight, allow that feeling, allow that sense of loving presence to arrive. The benefits of this spiritual meditation is a deep sense of inner peace and comfort. It strengthens our faith and our spiritual connecting to Father, Mother, God, or whatever God you designate as your eternal, ultimate, energetic, divine power and creator. Okay? When we have a greater clarity, our intuitiveness opens more, and our trust in life and faith opens on a higher vibration than you can imagine. Releasing of fear and expansions of love and compassion arise. It sets the pace for my day. Look at those words: clarity, expansion of love, compassion, spiritual connection, balancing, inner peace, comfort, aligning. These are the words that bring the most out of every human being if you can live your life with these words. If you are unhealed with these words, then you know where you have to practice. You know where you might need help. Because if you wake in the morning and you're like, and you're crazy, like, woo, baby, where's the reins? We got to pull those back, right? Because to wake up like that, you are waking up with God's grace of happiness, but where's your mind? Your mind is pinging all over the place, and then we lost our order. We lost our control. So you could be happy and fueled to wake up like that, but bring it in, right? Mindful consciousness, mindful meditation. If you're bringing it in, bring it in. Bring that in, because that you need an order. Remember, we won't want to have all these things pinging. We want a plan, and we want to stay calm. We want to stay in love. We want to stay going forward, and we want to love ourselves so we can say, this is what I got today. And if it's not done today, it's okay. That it wasn't meant to be. Divine timing. This is why I love to do spiritual meditations in the morning. So many traditions use it differently. The Christians may use prayer and scripture. Buddhists may meditate in compassion and in emptiness, right? Hindus may chant mantras to deities, while others simply just sit in silence with the source, with divine source. It is your gift. It is your love. It is your self training, however you want to proceed. Okay. That now is spiritual meditation, which, like I told you, that is my go-to first thing in the morning, especially if I'm not out of dreamscape. If you have dreamscape, it's very difficult at times, because you got to write it down first. And then however long it takes you to write all that dreamscape out, you may have lost that REM, ornate frequency, to connect at the moment. Not that it won't ever come back, but they want you to write that down first. Journal that piece first, and then go into whatever meditative practice if you want. Again, they don't have to be half hours. You're, unless you're a Buddhist monk or you're a spiritual monk or, a priest or somebody in that nature, we got things to do. The commons, right? We're the commons. The commons, we got things to do. We have to go to work. We have to get the kids. These are commons. So we want to be as pinpoint, order accurately, and as effective as we can for movement of our day, for our management, for our time management. Okay, now I got to go to break. So I took a little bit longer because I just love spiritual meditation. But we're going to do another Rob Fest, and this one is called Beautiful Morning. Ironically, right? We're talking about in our morning. So this one is another one, waking up with just blessed music as a timer. Please go find his Spotify or his stuff and put these so that when you're waking up in your alarm in the morning, you can play this to wake up to. And it's so beautiful. I'm MJ, and you're here on mbradio.us, and we'll be right back.
The station where our veterans' voices are heard. MBR Talk.
Hey, thanks for supporting our channel by watching and listening.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
Okay, we're moving, right? That duck got us moving. So the duck I love, especially because the next meditation is called movement-based meditation. That duck says it all. The movement meditation, centering the heart chakra. I am sure Mr. Hunt did not realize that, but I don't know. We'll have to ask him. So, but look at those butts. However that is how we're going to do our next meditation sequence. It is called movement-based meditation. It is a practice where mindful awareness is combined with gentle, intentional physical movement. What did the duck do? What did that Mr. Beaker do? He signed the heart movement. What does that mean? He is all within love. He's shaking his root and his sacral, dancing to the rhythm of his own self, putting up the heart by saying, I am in love with you, with myself, with everything. I am in full balance. So I love Mr. Beaker's heart. He is great. Now, the other guy on the motorcycle, that gets me anxious. I'm just saying, Mr. Hunt, that makes me anxious. But my duck swinging to walk into the light with love, that right there is movement-based meditation. It brings that intentional physical movement combined with the awareness of our mindful mental acuities. Instead of sitting still, the body itself becomes anchor for meditation, and excuse me, I got to sneeze. Sorry. The movements are usually slow, they're repetitive. The movements, they're flowing so that the mind can relax into a rhythm of the body. If any of you have ever watched an energist, somebody pointed this out a long time ago to me when I'm doing energy work. My body is a pendulum. My body goes back and forth. When I am connected to the highest form of vibration into divine's energy, where I am bridging ecstasy into enlightenment, my body sways. My body is a pendulum. It just automatically moves within itself. And thank you. Janet. So it anchors us. And basically that movement is securing so steadfast into Mother Earth. It is stabilizing that energy. I am moving with Earth's rotation, and I am moving with the highest of divine accuracy. People do it. Sometimes they do this, right? And it's very subtle. If you watch sometimes ministries and they start into the spirituals of music, their body starts swaying. Sometimes when they're reading at the pulpit, they get a sway, they get a movement, a pendulum movement, whether it's back and forth this way or whether it's this way, they get this movement that you are one with Earth, the Earth's pendulum, and you are one with it. You are one with Father, Mother, God, who is anointing us and allowing us to be steadfast, and yet we never fall. The movement is subtle movement. It allows that flow so our mind can relax into the rhythm of Earth's frequency and of divine heaven frequency. These key elements of movement meditation, it's an awareness of the movement. And I just told you, I wasn't aware until somebody pointed it out, because I stayed within the energies that I wanted. I was connecting in that meditation. So whatever's happening physically, I was already out. I was already removed from the physical to the metaphysical. So I'm not aware of those key element movements until somebody points it out, or somebody runs a video when I'm doing energy work and I'm like, however my body has to move to create the energy for others in my circles, or the energies for me, so it be. But the awareness of motions is focusing on how the body actually feels as it moves. If you are in complete enlightenment, maybe you do infinite circles. Maybe your body just becomes this infinite circles of eights, right? The infinite sign. And it just comes in and out. There's some people I watch, they're not even aware that they do it. Why? Because they are meditatively connected so much that they have no idea. Movement meditation, believe it or not, one of the biggest practices, and I know if somebody's listening, they're going to giggle if they're listening today, the Grateful Dead. The Grateful Dead concerts, you move with the music, and you're moving, as she describes, you're moving with the people to the bathroom, never hitting anybody, because everybody is in flow. Everybody was in the 60s, 70s, 80s. Grateful Dead made movement meditation awareness. And it was before that, but more with these groups. And when I'm reading it, I always hear her stories. I'm moving to go to the bathroom, and I'm moving with everybody, but they stay within the hypnotic meditation of that music, because that is where they are set free. That is where they can expand. That is the time for them to be very explosive, expressional within their body, within their soul. So that awareness emotion, focusing how that body actually moves, feels as it moves. And then you use breath in the integrations, right? We're going to bring our breath in. And maybe we have to do 2 swings. Maybe we have to swing and exhale on the back. Who knows? Whatever your unconscious mind does, let it just go. Breath integration, synchronize breathing with emotion, and it just happens. You don't force it. It just happens. It's like a flow and rhythm. And you become aware after, right? You become the awareness after, because once you come back in from the meditation and you become into consciousness, you're like, oh, I'm still moving. I'm still breathing. So, and then, I mean, I just smile. I smile. I'm thankful. I'm with gratitude, because whatever is moving me is by the energetics of God's creations, whether that be gravity, whether that be the rotation of the earth, whether that's my body pendulum with the earth. I'm trying to think of anything that would be anecdotal for an atheist to say it's not God, it's this. However you think, you are becoming one with earth. You are becoming one with divine. And whether you believe divine or not, it's happening. Because if you sit in meditation, your meditation is always anchored into the highest awareness of divine energy. Yeah. Flow and rhythm, moving gently, continuously staying present. Have you ever, I've caught myself on stations swaying. Like I'm listening to people and I'm so focused, I start to sway. Not because I don't believe that what they're talking about isn't important. I believe whatever they're saying, it's kind of like I'm a recorder and I'm recording and I'm recording and I'm recording. So somewhere in this index filing cabinet of the brain, I'm pushing it. So for me, I've already figured that part out. I figured that when I'm sitting here and I'm starting to sway, I'm recording. My body's recording everything around me, the awareness of the movement, the awareness of the education of whatever's being said, the awareness of healing maybe something inside of me that no longer serves the highest good of all. Maybe it's plausible, but I know that flow, that rhythmic flow, that movement. There's I'm going to bring up Ganesha again, just because Ganesha has been on my mind because of this new moon. So there are musical slokas and bhajis by Hinduism that they have the mantras already included, and you're doing motions, right? So we did Durga Kali. You know, people think it's just you just jump up and down, but there's actually rhythmic to it. You come into a fire setting and then you come back out. Then you come into a fire setting, you go into the rights and then you go into the lefts. It's almost like a Jewish Sarah wedding where you go in circles, right? And it gets faster and faster and faster, creating that centrifugal push our energy straight up to Ma Durga Ma Kali. And it's a fun thing because you feel it. You feel that movement, meditative action during those types of things, always. And then you're grounding, right? I said, if you are free movement by divine grace, that body acts like a pendulum, then you are very grounded because it won't push you over. You won't stumble, you won't fall. You're almost in place. And it's almost like weeble wobbles, but they don't fall down. That is that grounding, healing, connecting into earth, through each and every step or gesture of swinging or swaying that you do. You get very grounded. You're very taut into earth. So that is basically what movement meditation is. Examples of it we've talked about. We can do walking meditations. That's very common in Buddhism practices. Slowly walking with awareness of each step. So sometimes you'll see them focusing on their feet or looking down, right? And they're moving while out of consciousness. Is it out of consciousness? Awareness. I want to say awareness, not consciousness. Their consciousness is they know they're moving, but the awareness is the movement as a meditation. Because remember, if you get too many thought processes of the brain, you're really not in a meditation point. There's too much going on. So we try to bring this back, right? We try to just bring it back in. And so slow walking with awareness of every step allows us to maintain and remove everything else. So let's just say you're on a treadmill in your house because the weather's bad or it's too hot or whatever, and you're using that treadmill. That treadmill is awesome because that treadmill, you can literally watch your feet movement and you can get in a rhythm of the feet going, and now you sway, right? And now you're swaying and you're walking. You're swaying and you're walking. And that movement becomes like the abacus, right? Remember the abacus where the balls, the abacus, right? So you watch it. That's meditative, right? That's another meditative practice, is watching the abacus with that kinetic energy, swishing those balls around. So walking, awareness. I know a lot of people like to walk. Sometimes people like to walk and look at inside the woods. They like to go hiking. So their awareness now is all over the place. Their awareness, because they're watching for wild animals. They're watching for what's growing. They're watching for, even though they're cleaning up their mind of their everyday life of work or whatever, that's a form of meditation. Remember, that was back into a different form, walking meditation, where it doesn't have to be a spiritual meditation or a mindfulness meditation. It doesn't need to be. It can happen where I'm just moving. And there's some people say, did you see that? And you're like, no, I was just walking. I wasn't aware of anything. I wanted Shinrin-yaku, which is the bathing within energies of the forest, right? So for me, a lot of times, if I'm looking for forest bathing, which that is a Japanese art called Shinrin-yaku, and then it's just me and the forest. I have faith that whatever I'm needing done will be healed, and nothing I need to worry about within the forest will harm me. So that is forest bathing. Mindful meditation can be part of Shinrin-yaku because that is a form of healing the mental capacity, it's a form of healing the oxygen levels of the body, bringing a higher pH. So all these forms cleanse, clear, heal, right? It's just how much are we going to think about as we walk? There, you can wake up and you can do Tai Chi. Tai Chi is a Chinese practice that blends breathing, energy flow, and movement. So Tai Chi is another form, and sometimes you'll see Tai Chi in movements, right? Helping the movements of the body, becoming the movements, bringing the forward motions, allowing the body to remove energies. But Tai Chi is very slow. That's why they named Tai Chi, because that's the Chinese side of having movement to let go. And it's subtle. It's not strong. It doesn't have weights. Sometimes it has resistance bands, but Tai Chi is another beautiful form of your physical, mental clarity and high divineness that you're doing. It also includes your breath work. So Tai Chi, if you've never tried Tai Chi, look that up for morning rituals, because that can help alleviate some of the energy movements that's stuck in our joint areas or stuck in our hip or, all of our joints. So movement process is a great meditative tool as well. Yoga. So the next one under this example of movement would be yoga. When you practice mindful yoga, each posture, each transition becomes meditative, especially restorative. One of my favorites is restorative meditation, because just when you think you did enough Tai Chi to be limber, or you did enough, or you did enough. What's the other one? Oh, brain fart. But anyway, but yoga then becomes this, extenuating. So how far back, when you put pillows or you prop and you're leaning back, how far are you letting go? Are you really letting go? Are you really? And then after that, I think it's 10 minutes that they make you move position. You're like, oh my God, I can't move. I can't. And you're forcing your body to actually move because it has put itself in such a relaxed state that the muscles that it requires to move forward might not be there. So now going, whoa, I just used muscles I haven't used in a while, especially during restorative yoga. I love it. I love it. Dance, meditation. We just talked about, dancing with the mantras, dancing with bhajis, dancing at movements and concerts, free form or guided movement where expression itself becomes a meditation. Anybody who knows me knows that I love to cook. Cooking and singing is my release mechanism. I love to cook and I love to sing. And sometimes I get a movement sway as I'm sitting there chopping stuff up. I'll get a movement. So I'm incorporating different ways of just being happy and loving and carefree within my life. I guess the other day I was so happy in singing, and music to me is purpose. So music on purpose, I guess I started singing, and my two neighbors were with my husband on the other side of the spring ravine, and then on the other side of the property. They heard me singing, and they're looking. They go, "What is that noise?" Because they're in the middle of nowhere, and it's very quiet. I didn't realize how loud I was singing into the gore. That echoes, like if you sing down inside the gore, it's going to echo up the mountainside. They're like an ampliphone or a megaphone. They're like, it was crystal clear. And my husband told our neighbors, he's like, that's MJ. She's extremely happy and in her movement. That's how he said it. She's extremely happy and in her. Now he knows when I sing like that, I am really in my own world. I could care less. It's like singing in the shower, singing in the car. You're in your own world. You're in your own world of having people, are you okay? Oh, I am great. Right? It's those movements that bring. So dancing, right? It's free form. It's guided movement where expression itself becomes that meditation. And then the breathing body practices, swaying, stretching, repeating those things, repeating those motions with a conscious health movement. Okay. Benefits. You can probably already understand where we're going with this one. Benefits. It calms the mind while energizing the body. It builds body awareness and balance. It releases stress stored in muscles and in our nervous system. So if we have any type of muscular or neural issues, movement, meditation, mindfulness is probably going to be your best friend, because it's moving that which isn't working. It does not. It could be as subtle as just a sway. It could be as subtle as just pushing up our arms, our shoulders, right? And moving our shoulders. It's that kind of movement that always helps. It's always brings us back into an awareness. So our movement meditation teaches that stillness can be found even in motion. Movement meditation, stillness still can be found in that motion. Why? Because you're not thinking about anything else besides what you're doing. So you could find those distractions. Music allows, like, have you ever been wanting to sing so loud and somebody wants to interrupt you and then your body goes, can you back a minute? Can you just let me sing my song? Songs are so emotional to me and so much a part of me that if somebody interrupts me singing, I give them a can't you wait till my song's over? What is it? 3 minutes? Anyway, so And maybe your family becomes aware of that. Wow. Don't bother them when they're into this. Or some people get lost in their computer systems. And I hope it's a project, not so much social media and stuff, because that's not this. There's too much going on. But maybe you're making a video. Maybe you're doing animation like the duck. Maybe you're making the practice for people to heal. Maybe you're creating these things. So I can see you just, my husband, there it is. He loves photography. If anybody knows, he takes beautiful photography pictures, especially astrophotography of moons and Milky Ways and meteors and all this other stuff, and landscaping pictures of sunrise, sunsets. He loves that, landscaping pictures. So, but he's very specific, and he will sit with music as he has these 3 big old panels, and he's trying to, like for star showing, it's like stacking 300, 400, 500 pictures on top of each other, so you could actually see how the star's movement towards your Polaris are in that central, centrifugal form as the Earth spinning in its core. It's the most beautiful thing. But he needs to meditate while he does that work, because if he's distracted, he could miss a film and then there would be a break. Do you understand? So people who love what they do as a job, he's not on the internet, he's not on social media, he's on his computers listening to music, being steadfast on something. Some people love podcasts. When I have a friend, he does lawn work. He loves to listen to podcasts while he does his lawn work, because he feels that he's educating himself, he's learning something as he's actually doing his job throughout the day, and it keeps his peace in. So the same. Movement meditation always teaches us the stillness that can be found even in motion, and that carries that meditative state into everyday actions. And that's basically how that works. So I got to take another break, folks. So we're going to do another Rob Fest. This one is called Yours. And this is another beautiful composition of just different frequencies and different highlights of musics and tones to relax our mind. So this one is Rob Fest, Yours. I'll be right back.
The station where our veterans' voices are heard. MBR Talk.
Hey, thanks for supporting our channel by watching and listening.
Find us on the web at mbradio.net.
Our movement meditation duck. That's what I'm going to tell Mr. Hunt now. The movement meditation duck. Okay, folks. So I'm going to wrap this up. While different styles of meditation benefit different people, the one most highly recommended for overall health and well-being, and this the easiest one that most of us can start, is our mindfulness meditation. Why? Scientifically backed, hundreds of students show it reduces stress, it lowers blood pressure, balances hormones, improves our focus, and it strengthens our immune system. The accessibility for everyone to be able to do it is right there. You don't need special belief systems. You don't need special equipment. You don't need art. You don't need anything complex training. You can just practice it sitting, lying down, and even walking. As far as flexible, it can be as short as 3 minutes or as long or as long as an hour, fitting into your lifestyle as you feel comfortable and needed to fulfill your purpose of clarity. Holistic benefits helps both the minds of clarity, it helps focus, it helps emotional balance, and the body of relaxation responds lower of inflammation and better sleeping. Why? Because when you can do mindful meditation, you don't have any more headaches, migraines. You don't have these inflammations because your blood pressures are lower. Your stimuli of the blood vessels become unrestricted. So people out there with headaches, migraines, any type of those inflammatories, mindful meditation. And a simple daily practice, once you get to past that 3-minute mark, maybe 10 minutes, give yourself 10 minutes. You can do it on the toilet, right? Just mindful, right? Because mindful meditation practices have been shown to always improve stress and anxiety, blood pressure, heart health, emotional regulation, sleep quality, immune system strengthening, and overall sense of peace and resilience. So that being said, people connect more with spiritual meditation if seeking deeper meanings, movement meditation if restlessness, or concentration meditation if focus is your goal. But meditation by itself is a universal foundation. Did I just say but again? Okay, I've been focused on should so much. Have everybody, in fact, a couple of my masters have pointed out that but, there's no buts, period. There's no buts. I don't know why I keep doing that. I have to go deeper. Anyhow, however, mindfulness is a universal foundation and it meets people wherever they are. Okay? You can do it. You don't have anything. So mindfulness meditation, which was the very first one we talked about, and I'm going to review it because it's important. It's the only reason I'm going to review it. Mindful meditation emphasizes being fully present, noticing your thoughts, emotions, and sensations without judgment. Mindful meditation is fully presenting that moment. Okay. So the practice is awareness, non-judging, acceptance, breathing anchors, sit comfortably, take a few deep breaths, try to settle into a natural rhythm, notice sensations of the body and air movement in and out of your sounds. And while your mind drifts, and it will, gently say no. Tap and breathe and bring it back. Mindful meditation. You can practice it standing in a line at the grocery store, sitting at a red light. Be careful at the red lights. You don't get too far out because you got to get somebody to go, hey, the light's green. Tap them, hey, the light's green. Oh yeah, that's what I was doing. So this is mindful meditation. And there is the 4. If anybody needs assistance and understanding different forms of meditation, or if what you're doing is a meditation, or are interested in guided meditation to try to figure out their journey of lessons or life lessons, please feel free. Give us a call, text us at TWOCPT, TWOCPT at mbradio.us, or you can even put it at Gmail because I have both of those going with TWOCAP. So either one of those. Reach out. I'll get you to somebody if it's not myself. I do vet. And people go, how come you can't see me?
if our energies don't align, it's okay, but there's somebody out there better fitted for your energy. But I will always lead you in that path of righteousness and goodness for the highest good of all. Okay. Folks, I got to go. My baby girl, Katie, came in. She just landed at JFK. I got to go pick her up in Ithaca here. And I am so happy. This is such a rejoicous time for our family. I will not see you next Monday morning. However, if things go smoothly, I may do my show later in the day because I have to drive back from New York back to my mountain from the wedding. It's a Sunday night wedding. So please bear with me. It won't be Monday morning, but I probably will, as soon as I can get back up here to the mountain, I will do a Monday show, maybe just before Beyond the Headlines. I don't know. I have to figure out the schedules, but some way or another, I'll get it in because I have really important things that I want to discuss after that. And yes, I definitely will, Miss Janet. I will definitely tell her hi and I'll give her that hug for you. So thank you, everybody. May the angels carry you with grace, love, joy, happiness, and abundance of what it is that you desire most. It is the beautiful new moon energy today. Go out, experience it. Look up, look at Saturn, look at the meteors. There's so much going on. Just keep looking up. We'll see you next week. Ciao, ciao.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to Military Broadcast Radio. As we wrap up today's show, we want to remind you that the podcast of today's episode will be available right after we go off the air. So if you missed any part of the show or want to listen again, be sure to check it out. And remember, we're here to support and honor our veterans. Your stories and experiences matter, and we are committed to giving you a platform to share them. That's right. We're here to give our veterans a voice. So don't forget to catch the podcast and stay connected with us. Giving our veterans a voice.